Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the new moon that's coming up on February 9th, 2024. So we're going to take a look at each life path number to see what energies may surface around this illumination and see how to best work with them. Of course, before we do that, I just want to mention that this is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading where we take a look at your own personal numerology, I would love to work with you. You can book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. Life path number 2. So for you all, you're going to be working with the energy of the 3 as well as skunk energy for this new moon. So with the 3 energy, there's definitely something coming in here about optimism, joy, being a little bit more idealistic, not being too cynical around some kind of situation or just life in general. It's really asking you to play more, to have more fun, to incorporate fun into your daily routine, to actually schedule time for it if you have to, but to make sure that you're tapping into your inner child and what brings you joy, what lights you up, what inspires you. There's definitely something when the 3 comes through in a cycle, especially when it's a new moon and it's new starts and new initiations, new ideas. You could be encouraged at this time to, again, start new projects or initiate times for play, for using your imagination, for creativity. And to, if there's any area within your life where you've become somewhat cynical, to really work towards becoming a little bit more hopeful or optimistic within that scenario. But this is definitely a time for experiencing life, having fun, playing more, just bringing the joy back in and finding your joy. And sometimes that can be really challenging when we're moving through something challenging, right? But the 3 reminds us that joy can be found in any scenario. Idealism, hope, optimism can be found in any scenario. Sometimes we have to create it for ourselves. And so this may be a time where you have to create your own joy. It might not be something that someone's going to bring for you. But the 3 helps us to do that. Also, any kind of like creative self-expression, creative project is very highlighted around this time. So if you have new ideas, new inspirations that come in for you at this time, this is such a great time to take action, to initiate it, to get started on it. Great time for collaboration. So if you can work with others at this time, this is a beautiful energy for that. A lot can get accomplished and it can just feel really, really good. You're just kind of moving that creative life force through you. And this energy sort of brings the buoyancy and the jovial spirit to be able to really help you to get into that frame of mind, right? Where you want to create, where you're inspired to create. And it doesn't have to be for some kind of, monetary reward. It can just be for the sake of creating, for having fun, for doing what lights you up. So if there's some hobbies that you've put down, this is a great time to pick them back up and just do them for the sake of doing them. With skunk energy, there's definitely something here coming in around like conflict avoidance. It's interesting because I think of like, anytime we hear of skunk or you smell a skunk, it's like you do everything to avoid the skunk, right? So, which makes sense, obviously, but with this, there's something here around conflict avoidance, which obviously for 2 energy kind of is aligned with your energy, because 2 energy is about bringing people together, harmonizing, finding the balance. And so a lot of times 2s in their journey will sort of avoid conflict and do anything in their power to avoid conflict or rocking the boat. And sometimes that can escalate into like people pleasing. So with skunk energy coming through, there's something here that's pushing you to face whatever it is that needs to be faced. So having some honest conversations with yourself and others at this time and finding ways for conflict resolution as opposed to conflict avoidance. So we can't always obviously control how another person responds to a situation. And so they may present in a way that's brings the conflict. But we do have, the capability of understanding or learning how to be better at conflict resolution and how to remove ourselves from situations that become conflictory in nature. And so what I would say is that if there's some conflict or potential perceived conflict that you've been avoiding, something where you're sacrificing yourself and not having a conversation that maybe needs to be had because of that conflict avoidance, there's going to be a time where you might find that you're sort of thrown into the ring and you need to figure out a way to move through it, to work it out. And so again, I would say conflict resolution is going to be your best friend, as well as being more responsive as opposed to reactionary. So mind your emotions at this time. If you're feeling emotionally charged, then that's a great time to, have a conversation, let the person know that you need some time to sort of calm down a little bit and de-escalate the situation, and then respond accordingly. And this can be, this can show up in any area of your life where it is that you are avoiding having some kind of deeper conversation or standing up for yourself, speaking up for yourself type of thing, because you're trying to avoid conflict. So you could see it finds you at this time, and you need to find a way to work through it in a way that's healthy, right, for all involved. Use your discretion, right? Use your discernment, use your discretion at this time. But I think that this could be somewhat of an emotionally charged period. If there's some area of your life that you've been avoiding because you don't want to rock the boat, I think you might see it come to a head at this time, and you'll have to find a way to work through it in a way that serves all involved. So interesting energies that you're working with. But in that whole process, don't forget to find your joy. So anyway, I hope it's a great new moon. Take care, teas. Bye for now.